So, welcome back to Why is Arcane? Yes, I finally named this thing. It's an evolving idea, as all good things are. However, I think I am going to stick with Why is Arcane, which is why it's in the script. So yeah, welcome back to the third video of this installment. I am very, very excited, as you can probably tell, as I've spoken about for the past two videos. It's gonna be fun. This script, still not finished. Just read through it. I haven't really finished it, so I'm just gonna riff at the end. So if it seems like I'm going off on a tangent, it's because I am. Now, I have been debating with this one because Arcane, and I mean, obviously I'm going to talk about how fantastic I think the show is, but because it is so vast and there's so much to say and there's no way I could showcase the best of it. And I could go through each and every episode and talk about how they're all, brilliant, but then this episode would be days long, and I have other assignments to do. You have CinemaSins for that. CinemaSins, if nobody knows what that is going to be linked down in the description. Go watch them, they're hilarious, I like them. So my idea to help showcase it is to do a character study, a scene study, and then a thematic study to try and get the best sort of like snapshot of how great this show is. And though I will have put a spoiler warning on the past episode, this one is going to be verbalized. If you have not watched Arcane yet, what are you doing here? Get out, go watch Arcane. I'm going to spoil it for you, you're not going to know what I'm talking about, so unless you are my professor editing this, or not editing, Jose's not editing this, so unless you are Jose and you're marking this as my professor for the assignment it's due for, go watch Arcane, it's brilliant. I also am going to focus kind of on one episode to kind of have like a tying thought to everything, and that episode will be season 1 episode 7, The Boy Saviour. And up first is the character study, and I chose Jinx for this. Now before we start, it is important to say how this is going to barely scratch the surface of these characters. I mean, within the first 30 seconds of research, it became very clear to me I'm out my league. There were hours-long videos on character essays, there was academic writing, which I did use. They are in the description. I'm not going to Harvard reference them though, don't worry. That's not for here, that's in the blog posts. And of course, the wiki. I mean the wiki, it's just so immense. I don't think I've spoken much about it. I've gotten lost in there. Multiple times I've gotten lost in the wiki. It's a rabbit hole you go down, you never come back out of. Not truly. I think part of me is still in there. So if you've got an afternoon to burn and you're interested in more of what I'm saying, go on to it, have a look. I'll see you down there. If you are interested in this character and in this sort of thing, go watch somebody who is more qualified than me and this 30-minute long video. Just go somewhere else who is knowing what they're talking. I is not knowing what I talk, ever. But as I said, we're going to do a brief overview. So the basic rundown of Powder to Jinx is the typical descent into madness trope. As our favourite blue-haired pyromaniac, she represents those who have fallen through the cracks of governments and into a manipulative and ultimately destructive relationship with her father figure. I use air quotes there because there's some weird incest kind of themes with Silco that appear on and off. I'm not saying they're paedophiles, I'm just saying you should check that out for yourself. And this only accelerates Powder's cognitive decline into becoming her alternate self, Jinx. Now, the idea of a butterfly effect and the alternate self and alternate realities comes up quite a few times, and it is perfectly represented with episode 7, season 2. Oh my god, episode 7s mirror each other. Yeah, they mirror each other's development. Oh my god. Yeah, Echo and Jinx. Both times. Did these guys not sleep? What were they doing? That's insane. Oh my, okay, right, whatever. Moving on from that. Jinx is the personification of unpredictability. Not only with her nature, dialogue and actions, but also her impact on the story. She creates rebellion without even trying to, and is symbolic of the impact of spontaneous actions in a tension-riddled society. However, this is all in season 2, and in the episode that I want to look at, this character is still developing. And in fact, she's kind of reached a poignant turning point, as it is within these episodes that she's conflicted by memories, reality, and her interpretations of it. It is important to note that this is kind of shown in one of the most gorgeous ways I've ever seen schizophrenia depicted in film, and you're going to hear me speak a lot on how gorgeous this show is today. The conflict from her past and her present is suggested through her interactions with Silco, how she slowly starts to take back power, with the form of her restricting his shimmer intake before surrendering it again, and this cycle is seen again and again, not only with her relationship with Silco, but her relationship with everybody and everything. The cyclical nature of this show, chef's kiss, it's gorgeous, I love it. A similar struggle is sort of seen with her talking to Milo and Clagger, who are technically herself, but due to her trauma they are physical manifestations, but in reality it's just schizophrenia. Her argument with them helps to reveal her true fears to the audience and demonstrate how she needs to be accepted by Vi in order to feel whole again. Obviously at this point it is believed that she is too far gone, both by the audience, the characters, namely Echo, but that relationship changes significantly at the end of her episode, as it does in season 2. And he sees her become redeemable, and therefore so does the audience, even if it is kind of brief. I just want to tie up some loose ends on this character. There is an element of manic pixie girl going on there, the blue hair, the fact that she's manic, but she is also so manic that it becomes psychotic, and this is so fun because it means that it kind of subverts the audience. Like, they're expecting her to go on a 2000s-esque sort of film development, but instead she becomes so psychotic she drops off a cliff. It's too soon for that, to be honest. She didn't die. Yeah, like I said, it's just such a smart idea just to subvert the kind of audience expectations, and I love it, and it's just fun. It's just really fun. And just the last thing that I want to say on Jinx is Ella Prunell, I love you. I love her so much. She was so amazing in this, and it's such good casting. She's so perfect for the voice acting role, and her performance is brilliant, and it's just, it's so good. So good. So consider this episode kind of like my love letter to Ella Prunell and her voice acting in this show, and just in general. Ella Prunell, marry me. I've just written fight scene words. Why have I just written fight scene words? That's not useful to me, is it? Okay, but it does help us segue slightly into the fight scene analysis. Now, I have kind of just written down a list. I watched the thing back, and basically I just written down what I thought was really, really cool about it. So I'm gonna have a look into the fight scene between Jinx and Echo at the end of episode 7. And it's just, it's gorgeous. So let's get into it. We start off, and I'm gonna put up like pictures of each other. Not doing that. I'm gonna put up pictures of the scene so you kind of know what I'm talking about. So we start off with the light shining behind Echo, again giving him like a savior, biblical look, and it's very pretty. And it's like the light versus the dark, and Jinx being in the dark, she represents that sort of thematic conflict. They're both very overly confident, and they clearly have a lot of relationship between them. There's a clear relationship there that we as the audience haven't quite seen yet. And this, it sort of hints, there's like a slight little foreshadowing of what's about to happen here. But first off, Echo starts his timer on his watch, and you're like, what the hell's that guy doing? But then, Jinx is framed by the watch as it drops down, and as it swings between it, it shows her as a child and an adult, and a child and an adult again. And this could be representing her on borrowed time, it could be her representing the shift back in time, it could be representing, the fact that they're running out of time. So many things that it could be representing of. And then we get the best noodle drop of the season. I don't think I've spoken about how much the music means to me in this show. It's so good, and it is just, all of the songs are brilliant. Like Snakes, Misfit Toys, the Stray Kids one, Renegades is so good, but this one in particular, it gets me very excited every time. It's just If I can put a little clip here, I'll put a little clip here. If not, it's copyright, I can't do it. but it's one of my favourite needle drops of the entire season. It's brilliant. It's called Dynasties and Dystopia? Dystopia and Dynasties. Dynasties and Dystopia. It's brilliant and I love it. That song's quite special. Like I said, the watch goes back and forth, and in between you can see the switches of the younger selves. So I'm going to call her Powder for now and young Echo or whatever. And the start of the scene then shifts to something very abstract, and it's so pretty. And obviously it's pretty. There's also a set colour palette, and it's all now painted as well. You can see the brush strokes, it's beautifully detailed, and it goes back to a time before, so it kind of has like a over pigmented, it's not the right word, there's more colours, like it's a stronger colour palette than the original like first act. The first act is full of yellow tones, full of oranges, and this comes back for this fight scene, and I think, you know, that's so cool. And the style of this scene is also a good way of, you know, the separate styles of this scene is not only, you know, significant the fact that they're going back in time, but it also shows to when they were just playing. It shows that their childhood. And as they play, they both move into the light. Now this light could mean the relationship, it could mean the future, it could mean the past. Regardless, they both move into it. And it is just so pretty. It's so pretty. Baby Echo is kind of backed by like a firelight, as he is a firelight, and then Jinx is backed by the crow, with a reoccurring motif for her. I mean, I know it's meant to mean something from the game or whatever. It's like hinting at season 2 when, you know, the crow flies into the sunset with the ship, but I don't. I think it just means murder, deceit, lies, all of that fun jazz, which is great. But now I'm just going to give you some quick fire things that I liked. Right. A, the bullet has the same streaks as the missile at the end of the season. He steps in paint, but it's realistically blood. The gun going off has a cartoon style, which just looks amazing. Echo, again, comes from the light. And then when he gets hit with the paintball in the flashback, that is when the stopwatch starts to turn back. It doesn't turn back straight away, it gives it a bit of time so you can see the full childish reaction of Echo. And of course, Powder's celebration, we'll say. And then they take it all the way back, so they just zoom back in time, and this is such a cool device to just show the audience context but not change anything. It's a really good quickfire and obviously gorgeous way to show people context, and it brings me joy. This also leaves the audience with a false sense of understanding. They think, well, Jinx is going to win because Jinx just won in the flashback, but no. Unlike Jinx, Echo has matured and has become a new person. Well, not new, but he's become a better version of himself. He's now more agile, he's quicker, he's better than he used to be, whereas Jinx has not changed from when she was, you know, abandoned. So he then wins. This shot is gorgeous, so pretty. I need that on my wall, and I needed it on my wall yesterday. When he, you know, gets her on the floor, she fights back in a childish way. It also links back to the original game where, you know, she's very bad at close-up fighting. She does a lot better on the wide range. So this is, you know, loyal to the game at some points. Yippee! And when they do like a close-up on her face, she's trapped not only by Echo's staff, which is at the bottom of the screen, but also by the angles of the camera, which I think is very nice. They also used a powder model for this scene where she looks at Echo before, you know, he tries to beat her to death. This is so they had a powder model and then they had a Jinx model for the two characters, I guess. So when they wanted to show her as a more childlike or innocent, or when she's slightly redeeming herself, they used the powder. And then when, you know, Jinx was there, like in the fight scene in the episode previous, that was obviously very Jinx, and they had a separate model for her, which again, such a sick technique. I love it. There's a slight look of betrayal before he slowly pulls away with when she pulls the pin, but this hints later. But then obviously they move to a wide shot to keep you in suspense, and I like that, that's fun. Okay, and now on to part 3. If you're noticing some differences, congratulations. This is now my 4th time of filming this. I have no storage left. This is a nightmare. I cannot get this final part done. So I'm now filming on my iPad. My hair has changed colour, my nails have changed colour. It's been 3 days since I shot the original, and that's when I realised I was missing the latter end of it. So I've edited the first half, now trying to film the second half for the 4th time. Actually kind of crashing out about it right now. If I cannot get this filmed, it's going to be sent out halfway through. I genuinely am not finishing it. I'm struggling right now. I'm struggling. So we're just going to try and get this done. So I'm going to speed through this. I've been trying to give you a lot more information, a lot of backstory, but it's just not working. So we're going to have to do this instead. I apologise if it looks like shit. I apologise if I sound like shit. I'm on my last legs, guys. I cannot do any more. I'm running out of storage. Okay, right. Now there was a lot of themes in Arcane. There is many themes, and I could list through them all and we could talk about them all, but again, we'd be here for days and I still don't have the storage space, so we're not gonna. I'm gonna narrow it down to 3. Number 1, classism. Now there is a lot to say about classism, particularly in Arcane. It is depicted brilliantly through the characters of Jace and Victor. Now obviously, Victor comes from the Undercity, very poor. Jace comes from the, top side, middle class sort of thing. So they, despite the fact that they are brothers, and I say brothers because big fan of them shipping, big fan. That happened, but despite the fact that, they're brothers, whenever they talk about the rebellions and the riots from the Undercity, it becomes very fractious. Because Jace has an us versus them mindset, and Victor, understandably, a lot more forgiving in comparison. So that's how they kind of depict classism. I mean, obviously they also depict it with like Mel and her family, and Jinx and Vi, and obviously Vi and Caitlyn, the main one. Probably should have picked them actually to talk about classism. Oh well, doesn't matter, no time. Now another way that they show classism is through the cinematography, and often Topside is presented with wide and opening shots, and when they're not static they tend to be sweeping or panning, and this helps create the illusion of space. They probably do have space, but it helps present the space a lot better. And it glorifies it, and it makes it look grand and dramatic, and maybe more than it probably would be in society. You're not straight, are you? God dang it. Too bad, we ain't got time to change it. It's so late, I have filmed this so many times! Now, with these shots being so grand and so dramatic, it helps create a very nice contrast between how they shot the Undercity. Now, I'm not saying the Undercity isn't gorgeous in its own right, it absolutely is. However, it's a lot more modern, and it's very chaotic and extremely busy, and, in comparison to how they shoot Caitlyn's house, to how they shoot The Last Drop, it is worlds apart. Obviously, it's a class divide, it's very dramatic about it as well. Now with, Caitlyn's got this grand manor, and they're all just like sat on their sofas, and I'll pop up something here, compared to how they shoot Powder and Vi at the start, here. You can see clear-cut differences. This, very cramped, very confusing even, whereas this, big, dramatic, light. The lighting in this one, gorge. I mean, gorgelicious? No. And these big opening shots of the top side often reflect art pieces. The composition and structures of art pieces, such as the Fibonacci sequence, golden ratio, the rule of thirds. And although these do appear in some of the establishing shots, they are not as common, and they're more cramped and very busy, and it helps to create this feeling of poverty and stress, and it's just a lot to look at. It's gorgeous, but it is very different to the wealth that is portrayed through cinematography. Another theme that's more apparent in this episode is family. In this case, it's found family. Obviously you could talk about Jinx and Vi and the rest of them. I'll pop them all up here. However, I want to talk about Vi and Echo, my favourite dysfunctional siblings. In this episode, they team up to take the gem back to the counsellors. Obviously, Echo comes with them. Major trust issues, that guy. Fair enough. And in these short minutes, they reminisce, they joke, and they mourn. And with all about 5 minutes of screen time, they manage to pack so much. You get so much about their childhood that you don't get from anywhere else. I mean, I haven't watched season 2 in a hot minute, but I don't think Echo has much on his childhood. This might be the most we get, as well as, you know, the Jinx and Echo fight, but we've already spoken about that 4 days ago for me, but it was like 2 seconds ago for you. They shared childlike quips and jokes, and there seems to be a genuine connection between them. I mean, that perhaps it's helped by Vi's naivety. You know, she's been locked in prison for 10 years, but she genuinely has no clue the gravity of the situation throughout this entire season. She's just confused, and fair, like I said, she's been in prison forever. But yeah, Gao has no clue what's going on. Ever. Like me. Another quick note on another huge theme of the season, and that is the corruption in this series. I mean, it's most obviously presented through Marcus and Silco. However, there is also Grayson and Vander, but that's presented in a much more innocent-esque light. Probably because we see it through Powder and Vi's eyes. And obviously, they're not going to think bad of their dad, are they? Their found family dad. Particular shot that I think of with Silco and Marcus, and that is when they are sat in his office. Now, Marcus is framed by Silco's elbow, and Silco is very relaxed in the situation. I mean, he's taken up all the space, whereas Marcus is crouched on this tiny little stool and he's being compressed down by his elbow, which is being shot through the camera. A lot of hand motions at the minute. That's what happens when I'm stressed. That is everything on the themes I wanted to say, and everything on this series as a whole. Gotta wrap this up quickly, but I just wanted to say I have absolutely loved doing this. This has been great fun. I mean, it's a Brucey bonus that I get to do it for my assignment, so, you know, it makes me feel like I get a reward at the end because I'm being graded on it, unless I don't do well. Jose, please don't fail me. But if you have enjoyed this, I would love to do this sort of thing again, and if you'd like to see it, please let me know. Comment down below. Like I said at the start, will not have scratched the surface at all. And if you want to see more, go find more, because there'll be great stuff out there. I will link a couple down in the description that I think are great, and also all of my sources for this video will also be down there, and if you want to go check things out, go check them out. I'm not holding you back now. Be free. So yeah, off you pop. And I really hope you enjoyed this. I certainly did, like I said, so please like, subscribe, comment down below, do all of the YouTube things, and if you want to see more, I would like to do some more. I'm thinking Sleep Token, clearly, and you can kind of see it in this shot, but above me is an entire wall dedicated, you're okay, dedicated to Sleep Token. So if you want me to do more, I will do more. Let me know, I will do it. But for now, this is it. I've really enjoyed it, and I hopefully will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.